problem with bullying is when I was little in my older school, I was going through many emotional problems and I had to go to the counselor. The counselor accidentally told other teachers my problems and students heard and it got leaked out, and I was basically bullied off of my differences and my emotions, and I eventually became a bully myself because no teacher would help me with my problems. I literally cried every day. Our classroom is painted black. Kindness, joy, and hope is what our school lacks. Students bullied on a daily basis, laughed at by many faces. I think the teachers laugh too, because instead of helping us, they are helping you.
I do not think that the bullying policies are effective in our school.
Well, the teachers ignore the policy. Like, they see bullying, they wouldn't say nothing. They would just let it happen, and they wouldn't tell the principal, the dean, or whatever. They would just let the students handle the situation themselves, and that's not usually a good situation. The policies are, if you see bullying, then it's to be reported, or the student name is to be written down and taken to the principal, but I never see none of that happen.
At my school, it's not really a big deal. It's more ignored and it's not as serious as what I hear about other schools.
My school handled bullying by either suspending a person or sending them to a different school.
In terms of bullying, my school really doesn't handle it as much, but they usually enforce the zero tolerance policy, which states like any violence whatsoever inside schools will result in suspensions or what they call swing doors.
People still do the bullying even though they are taken to the dean or the principal and they are just suspended for their actions but not giving their side of the story or whatever happened about the story. And when you send a bully home, they just come right back and do the same thing, or they just send their problem somewhere else, I believe, and that's just another problem for somebody else.
We have one counselor at the school, and her name is Miss Brown. And she does the best she can to help everyone, but she can't help all of the 400-some students in the school.
I think that the budget cuts have kind of hurt us in terms of trying to address bullying. I can walk around, I don't necessarily know if they're kidding around or if they're serious, you know, because I'm only there 2 days a week. You know, if I was down there every day, I would have a better feel for it. The fact that we're short-staffed, it's very hard for us to address a lot of the bullying.
One day I was walking home, getting off the bus, and it was wintertime, and she started picking up snowballs and she was throwing them at me with her sister. And they followed me almost all the way home. And the next day in school, I went to the teachers and the administrators and told them that I was followed almost directly to my house, and they said that they could not do anything about it because it was off of school property.
The fact that they actually saw me being bullied and still believe it in the majority of the classroom, or complained about me doing stuff when I already made a complaint about it and acting like I never opened my mouth, was really shocking, and like it made me feel as though they wasn't really here for me. They didn't care about what I wanted. They just came for their checks. I basically start picking on the people back, or I'll eventually get into fights, or I would start commotions in classroom just to get a laugh so I could fit in with everybody else, or pick on someone that was weaker than me because I know that they couldn't down me for what I've been through because they've been through worse.
I've experienced bullying before and it haven't really been, it wasn't solved by a teacher. I reported this incident to a dean, but then that dean didn't do anything about it. He just said to let it happen, let it go, don't let it bother you, just move on. It affected me in a way that made me not feel safe in the school, so that I didn't really feel that I didn't want to trust the deans, and it took me back from my education and academics.
Last year I was bullied. These girls decided that it would be funny to start a rumor about me having sexual contact with her cousin in the fire escape. She posted it all over her Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. She told everyone that she knew, and she had a lot of friends, so the story went out pretty fast. I couldn't really talk to anybody, and I didn't have that many friends. And when I took it up with the principal, the vice principal at the time, she said that she would put the girl on trial, and trial gave the girl enough time to delete all her posts. The former vice principal told me I should be more ladylike and watch how I dressed, even though we wear uniform. And she said I should be more cautious. I don't think a student should have to be cautious of what they do and say in school just because of what others think, but that's what she thought that I should do.
Educating people on what bullying can be and then what it can do to other students, how it can affect them emotionally, starts to alleviate that.
If you want to prevent bullying, you have to start in the beginning of the year, of the school year. And you have to set the tone, establishing your positive learning environment where the students feel welcome in your classroom and they feel safe.
I think if teachers involved themselves more with the students, then a lot of them wouldn't act out. They would feel as though they already getting attention, so they wouldn't have the need to get attention.
I think my teachers should pay more attention in class because some kids have it worse than me. And they should just pay more attention on their relationship with the students instead of just trying to teach.
You may not be able to get up in the student's space, or you may not be able to, lightly put your hand on the student's shoulder because that may trigger something in them. So knowing the individual student, still holding them to the same bar, still expecting, no, you can't come in here and run amok.
I think the school district needs to give the teachers more supports. Like, with these budget cuts, everybody's on a bare bones staff. You can't address half the things that are going on in the building because you don't, let alone bullying, because you don't have enough adults in the building in order to create this environment that you really need to prevent bullying.
Sometimes people don't get punitive, right? It's the reason why people go to jail over and over and over again, because they're not learning a lesson. But when you have something that is restorative, it is restoring that person back and that situation back to where it should have been.
If someone's being bullied, the person that is bullying should be able to have a place where they can go and they can speak about how they're feeling and all this, because it doesn't really help if you're only helping the person that's being bullied. If you don't help the person that's doing the bullying, then it's a cycle that's not being progressed or helped.
Paint our skies black to blue. Listen up, teachers and staff. We listen to you. Help us help you. Listen up. These are our schools too.